Welcome. Good morning to our slow flow class today. Today we are going to be exploring the idea of support. So today we're going to be using our props. We're going to be using our yoga blocks. If you have a bolster, make sure you grab your bolster. Any other props you feel like you'd like to have for your yoga practice, bring them along and go ahead and just set them nearby so you can have them. This idea of being supported in our practice is almost like a way of us telling the divine, the universe, that we're willing to accept support. So, we're going to be using our props today as a way of opening up to this opportunity to receive and to offer support out. And so we're going to be using our supports today throughout our practice as a way of kind of helping our body invite that sense of support and stability into the practice and really find a really grounding foundational movement pattern, really allowing us to find some really nice um, support as we go through our movements today. So, if it's comfortable for you, and this is really important for me to emphasize, I want you to explore your best way of supporting yourself. And supporting yourself doesn't only mean using blocks, supporting yourself also may be meaning to take a break. So, we're going to really emphasize that in our practice today. So, let's go ahead and we're going to make our way down to the floor. I'm going to keep my sweater on for now because it's a little chilly where I am. And we're going to begin on our back. And if you'd like, if you have a bolster like I have here, I'm going to set it right underneath my knees. So, just as a way to let my knees kind of drift down, let my low back release, find a really comfortable position on the floor. And if you don't have a bolster or you don't have any pillows available for you, or even if you want to, you can set yoga blocks underneath your knees. You can always come into constructive rest pose. So your knees knocked together, feet are wide. And we're just going to begin today, maybe allowing the arms to rest at your sides, allowing the knees to rest nice and comfortably on the bolster, maybe allowing them to just release. And this is just wonderful to help the hips release, the low back release, and just invite this grounding of the body down into the earth. I'm just going to take some breaths here. Notice the back of the body. Maybe close your eyes, just soften your jaw. And clear away any roadblocks that might be holding your mind in a stream of thoughts. So allow you to clear your path and to know that no matter what, you are supported. Supported physically by the earth, supported emotionally by the universe. And as you're resting here, just allow your body to start to melt down into the earth. Allow the shoulders to drift away from the ears. Maybe you can almost feel this opening through the heart space. This trust that everything that's happening is happening because it was meant to be that way. And that this higher consciousness is there to support you with always the highest and best as its intention. So allow yourself to simply relax into this space, knowing that no matter what, wherever you are right now is where you are intended to be. Allow your breath to flow into the belly Allow your breath to leave the nose. Quieting your space. Wonderful. And there's a certain amount of release that we need to be able to invite into our bodies, into our minds, that really helps to invite the opportunity for support to come in. We almost have to let go a little bit and trust that the support is there. So, from a physical standpoint, I want you just to be able to allow your body to release. Maybe noticing the breath pressing into the back of the body as you breathe in and feel that expansion of the ribs. Maybe allow the body to let go of any tension that might be here. And then when you're ready, we're going to slowly, if your knees are propped up onto a bolster, we're going to slowly start to draw the knees in towards center and maybe take that bolster and maybe just move it off to the side. We're going to come back to it a little later. If you've got some pillows, just set them off to the side. And as you're ready, we'll bring our feet down to the ground and we're going to widen the feet and just allow the right knee to drift in with a gentle opening of the right hip, a little bit of the side of the hip, and then allow the left knee to drift in. And just allow a little bit of gentle movement here. Still noticing the back body connecting down to the earth as you start to create some movement here. The support is still there. You can feel the back of the head, the back of the arms, the shoulders resting upon the ribs. And as you're flowing here, maybe you notice a shifting of support within the body. You notice how your pelvis is supporting your legs. You notice how your low back is supporting your pelvis, your core. And that support isn't just coming from the earth, but support is from within our own physical body too. And then when you're ready, we'll slowly make our way back in towards center. And draw the knees up towards the sky with the feet firmly grounded, planted to the earth. Setting our palms down. Now, from here, I'd like you to imagine that you've got your pelvic floor here, and it's at the base of your pelvic area. And it's like a basket that's woven at the base here, holding everything up, supporting everything. And I'd like you to imagine you're pulling your belly button and engaging into that pelvic floor, pulling it in really subtly and gently, as if you're supporting your organs and all of the things that the pelvic floor does to help keep everything in its place. And then go ahead and release the belly and release the pelvic floor. Imagine it's almost like picking up a tissue paper from the center of the tissue and pulling it up. So you draw the belly button in, engage and lift in through that pelvic floor, and then gently release as if you're spreading the tissue paper down. Inhale, lift. Engage through the pelvic floor, maybe engage a little bit through the glutes. And then exhale, release and soften through that low belly and the pelvic floor region. Inhale, breathe in and lift up. Now here it's not a bracing, it's a gentle lift, it's a gentle toning of the muscles of the pelvic floor, and then release. I always like to equate pelvic floor work in a way that's almost like touching cold water with your feet. As you're walking into a lake, you start to feel that coldness permeate up from the feet all the way up to the crown of the head, and then release. And then the next time you pull into that pelvic floor, pulling in through the belly, I'd like you to firmly press the feet into the floor. Feel that support of the earth start to engage in through the glutes and start to lift. Holding into that pelvic floor, holding into the core, reaching through the knees, opening up the front body, opening up the shoulders. And then exhale, start to release the sacrum down to the floor and slowly release the pelvic floor. Inhale, press up, lift up through the belly button, pull in through the pelvic floor, feel that contraction. And then release down, set the sacrum down, and just flow here a few more times at your own perfect pace, finding your own rhythm. Notice how when you start to engage through the area of the pelvic floor, you may even start to feel way more supported in the pelvis. You can feel everything really kind of just supporting one another. In addition, you can perhaps notice the back of the body, the feet, the shoulders, the back of the head, the arms, pressing down into the floor, offering that extra support. Maybe you even repeat to yourself this very simple mantra, but very powerful: I am supported. And when you start to accept that the universe is always there and it always has your back, you have that opportunity to let go of trying to allow yourself to control things, knowing that the control is really out of our control. We have no control over the things that happen. Our destiny is kind of already set. The universe is on its path. It's almost like a releasing. We give ourselves permission just to be, just to enjoy, just to live the path that we're on without this need to try to move our path in other destinations. As you're ready, let's go ahead and we'll slowly make our way back down to the floor, bring the sacrum down. Notice the back of the body. Notice the pressing of the sacrum down, feeling the low back, the tailbone. Notice the shoulders here. And just for a moment here, take a couple of breaths. Feel the back body and exhale, release. And then go ahead and draw your knees in towards your chest. Pulling the knees in, lengthening the tailbone out. Maybe rock the body side to side, spread the low back into the floor, maybe stir the pot. Maybe stir the pot in the opposite direction, gently guiding the knees. And then as you're ready, go ahead and set yourself back through center. Set your feet down to the floor. And then we're going to slowly roll onto our side and make our way into our all fours position. And here we're going to perhaps grab our yoga block. And we're going to set our yoga block just underneath our sits bones here. So on our all fours, we'll set it kind of, I've got mine midway between my ankle and my knee. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sit onto my yoga block here. Now, maybe here is a perfect example of where we might need to modify to make it work and feel more supported on our body. So perhaps you might want to take it to its medium height so you're a little more lifted. And as you're here, just notice how this in itself maybe feels more comfortable. Maybe you need to use 2 blocks to create a little bit more of a foundation. And just allow your sits bones here to kind of rest down onto the yoga block. Sitting up tall, letting the shoulders drift down. And as you're ready, reach the right arm up towards the sky. And with a gentle exhale, leaning over towards the left side, opening up the right side of the body. Allowing the knees to soften. Draw the right arm all the way down and take the left arm up. And as you've created this foundation beneath you, as you lift through the upper body, I want you to focus on really just allowing from the pelvic area all the way up to the crown. Find that lift, but know that you are still supported underneath. Take the left arm down. This time, go ahead and reach the right arm forward. Open up the palm so that the palm is extended out. And we're going to spread the hands out into a nice big 5 position. Reaching long. Let's go ahead and take our left hand and take each finger and just gently press it towards you. Stretching out each of the fingers. Maybe kind of going to the thumb. Continuing to spread through the hands, just gently reaching with the heel of the hand. Each time we're moving individual fingers, we're kind of moving different areas of the body here, different parts of the hand that don't often get too much movement, too much extension or lengthening. And then when you're ready, go ahead and extend your right hand completely and maybe take all the fingers together. Continue to root in through the sits bones. Maybe you notice you have this lift through the shoulders. Try to let that go away and let the back of the rib cage, the shoulder blades, be supported by the back of the rib cage here. So just allow for this, everything to be stacked nicely. And then go ahead and bring your hands, interlace your fingers, and we're just going to do some gentle movement through the wrists. Just allowing for some movement, maybe 4 or 5 more times in one direction. Then we'll reverse that direction, loosening through the joints, relaxing through the shoulders. Notice if as you're sitting here, you find that you're trying to lift up, you're trying to work here. See if you can settle down. Settle the sits bones. And then let's reverse our direction, moving the wrists in the opposite direction. Wonderful. And then when you're ready, let's go ahead and release the hands. Extend the left arm long. Shoulder height, relaxing through the shoulder. Let that shoulder blade just be pressing up against the rib cage. And same here. Just pull each of those fingers towards your center. And it's kind of working through different feelings in each of the fingers. I can feel a little bit of that different reaching, that different lengthening as I move each of the fingers towards my center. Trying to release and through the hands. Maybe move through one more round of each finger, reaching through the palm of the hand. Shoulders are nice and neutral. Wonderful. Maybe the next time you get to that point where you're done with all the fingers, go ahead and take all the fingers towards center, reaching the heel of the hand forward, lengthening. Notice if you immediately kind of get that feeling that you need to kind of create tension here, you kind of naturally just come up towards the shoulders. Try to let your body just support you. Let the shoulders relax. And then from here, go ahead and release, shake it out, and let's slowly make our way into our all fours. So from here, let's go ahead and we're going to take one block and then the other block. And we'll just set them right at the sides here in preparation for the next few poses. But before we move there, let's come into a few cat-cows. So knees underneath hips, hands underneath shoulders, stacked upon each other. Inhale, tilt the pelvis, roll the shoulder blades back, open up the heart. Exhale, pull the belly in, round the spine. Inhale. Now, these are all poses we do almost every time we meet on the mat. But the intention is different. The intention is support. So I want you to notice how you're supporting your body here. Is it through the spreading of the hands? Is it through a deeper connection to the breath? Is it to maybe a little bit more engagement of the muscles? Or even a letting go of the muscles? Beautiful. Now, as you come into your cat-cow, I want you to notice when you come into your cat, can you pull in through that pelvic floor and pull into that belly? Just like you did earlier with your bridges, drawing in that belly button, lifting up that tissue from the center, pulling it up and in, engaging through the inner thighs to create that slight contraction of all the muscles that help support our pelvic floor. Wonderful. Let's go ahead and do a couple more. And then last one. Wonderful. And whenever you're ready, go ahead and make your way back in towards center. Spine is long. And just go ahead and shift your pelvis and your hips side to side. Just create a little bit of lateral movement here. It's loosening up through the low back, through the hips, and just finding a little bit of that shifting of weight. And even just the shifting of weight, you can notice how the body offsets and supports itself as it shifts from one side to the other. Wonderful. And then when you're ready, we'll just come back through center. Beautiful. Now from here, if you'd like, we're actually going to set those blocks about shoulder distance apart. And we're going to take our hands and set them on the block. Now this is, again, if this doesn't feel comfortable for you, we're going to come into a downward dog with some support from our blocks today to raise the earth to come up to lifting the body up and give us a little bit of space. However, if this doesn't feel supported, go ahead and set your hands directly down to the floor. Curl the toes under. We're going to start to lift up through the knees, lift up through the sits bones, and start to lift up and open up through the chest here. Maybe open up through the feet. And as we come into this supported downward dog, notice how it might feel a little different than the ones we normally do. Maybe you have a little bit more room, maybe not. How can you support yourself in this downward dog to make it feel as comfortable, as foundational as possible? From here, maybe bend one knee and extend the other. And then go ahead and switch sides, pressing down into the floor, alternating legs, softening through the jaw, softening through the shoulders, through the heart. Breathing in and breathing out. Wonderful. The next time you draw your right heel down to the ground, set that left heel up. Lift that right heel, set that left heel down. And then drop both heels down to the ground. And I'd like you to take a little gander between the arms. And we're going to take that right foot all the way forward. Now here, maybe we're going to bring our blocks to its highest point or to its medium point. You choose. And as we take our right foot forward, we're just going to come into a really nice low lunge here. Stacking the shoulders on top of the elbows and the wrists, feeling that support of the blocks beneath us, pulling up through the belly button and engaging through our pelvic floor, like as if you're trying to wrap your inner thighs towards center, really focusing on that center of the body here. Lifting up through the belly, lengthening through the spine. From here, if it feels comfortable, drop your left knee down to the floor. And you may immediately start to notice that opening up the hip. And from here, lifting up taller, maybe bringing the blocks a bit closer towards the pelvis so that you can support the upper body with the hands resting down onto the block and the shoulder blades down. Allowing the hips to gently open up. Maybe you gently lean forward, continuing to lift as if you're lifting through your pelvic floor, keeping everything nice and supported here. Just taking a moment or two to make yourself even 1% more comfortable, more supported. Now from here, if it feels okay, we can take that left hand slightly forward onto the block, rolling that right shoulder back, and maybe it's strictly in the mind's eye that we reach for that left foot. Perhaps we let that left foot down and simply open up into a gentle upper twist. Maybe we grab for the foot. Gently opening up more through the hip and through the quadricep. Maybe if this doesn't feel supportive on your knees, you let that bottom leg go. Maybe we open up the shoulders here just by reaching back. And then go ahead and set that foot down. Rest both hands directly onto the blocks. And let's go ahead and set that right foot back. And let's go ahead and press back into child's pose here. Knees wide, big toes together. Maybe arms are extended out long. And just as you press back onto your heels, opening up through the hips, know that the hips are there to support you. The back is there to give you everything you need. The earth is beneath you. Let your body just soften into its space. Maybe rest the forehead directly onto the floor. Take a moment just to melt into the space. Let the hips release. Low back release. And then as you're ready, we'll go ahead and shift back into all fours. Bring those knees directly underneath the hips, and this time we're coming back again into a supported downward dog. So take the blocks if you'd like to. Curl the toes under. Exhale, lift up into your downward dog. Press the heels down, drop in through the heart. Shoulders remain wide. Maybe pedal the feet one at a time here. And the next time your right heel is lifted, press down through the left. Notice how even just this change in balance changes how we engage in with the earth, with the hands and the feet. Drop the right hip down and let the left heel lift. Press down through the right. Go ahead and drop both heels down to the ground, bringing the feet in towards center. And this time we're going to take that left foot forward. Setting up for a low lunge, maybe taking the blocks to its highest block. highest height. Rolling the shoulder blades back, pressing back into that right heel. Opening up that right hip. Lengthening through the spine, zipping up in through the belly, lifting up through the pelvic floor. Set the right foot down. And just take a moment here to settle yourself and stack your body here so everything feels really supportive. You feel tall through the spine. Maybe your feet are resting down. You're shifting your weight slightly forward just to open up that right hip. Take a breath, settle the shoulders. And perhaps this is enough. Perhaps this is just where you need to stay. If you'd like to, we can explore by taking the right block forward, rolling the left shoulder back. Maybe in the mind's eye, we simply open up, or perhaps we reach for that left foot, that right foot, opening up through the quad here. And this can feel pretty intense here. So we're going to take that opportunity to support ourselves in whichever way possible. Maybe we don't grab the foot. Wonderful. Go ahead and release the hands, set the hands back to the blocks. This time we're going to take the blocks and just set them off to the side here. Frame that front foot, curl the right toe under, and let's go ahead and set our right foot forward, coming into our forward fold. Now let's take one of our blocks and set the block at its highest and just go ahead and set your hands there. Feet maybe a little wider than hip distance apart. Let the crown of the head drip down. Let yourself come into a really nice relaxing forward bend with a light bend of the knees. And then as you're ready, we're going to release the hands down to the floor, pressing the fingertips in towards the floor, finding that little crouch, maybe lengthening the back of the legs, finding a half lift. Exhale, melt down towards the earth, maybe bend the knees. Bend the knees so much that you can feel your torso resting on top of your thighs. From here, bend the knees and sweep the arms up and slowly make your way all the way into a standing position. With the arms outstretched and the palms pressed together, let us meet in Samastitihi, hands at heart center. Feet pressed down to the floor. And I'd like you to imagine that as you're pressing your feet to the floor, you're trying to separate your mat in two. And you could start to feel right away that engagement of the side of the body here. And as you press your feet into the floor, there's a slight lifting of our mula bandha, our pelvic floor lift, our pelvic floor lock, our root lock. And there's this lift of the belly button and the lifting of the pelvic floor in and up, rooting into that space, keeping everything nice and stable and supported. Palm remains at the hands. And then from here, release the hands, breathe in all the way up to the sky. Exhale, take that right foot back, find your crescent pose. Releasing down, drawing the inner thighs towards center, lifting up through the belly button, opening up the right hip. As you're ready, weigh into that left foot, holding on to that whole support, centering in the body. Take the right foot back, press the palms together, meet at your heart. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Root into that right foot, take the left foot back, find your crescent pose. Take a moment here to draw that attention to the center of the body, relax the shoulders, stacking the body here, pressing down through the left heel. Root back into that right foot, come back through center, palms pressed together, meet at your heart. On your next inhale, continue to press into the feet as if you're trying to separate the mat. Pull up through your mula bandha. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up towards the sky. Find your crescent pose. Take your right foot back, deepen into that low lunge. Settle your feet in here, relax the shoulders. From here, we're going to take an inhale, extending the body long, reaching back to that back foot. Sweep both hands on either side. Take your blocks, set them here so that you've got on either side of the left foot, and find your low lunge here. Maybe you rest your right hand onto the block and inhale, twist towards the left, finding that nice balanced support here through the hands and through the feet, pulling up through the belly. Rest that left hand back down onto the block. Press into the left foot. Inhale, find your crescent pose. Rest into that left foot. Take the right foot back. Palms extend up. Press together. Meet at heart center. Rerouting in through the feet. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. This time, take that left foot back. Find that low lunge. Settle in here for a moment, relaxing through the shoulders. Pull in through that center. Lift up through the belly. Focus. Take a moment of pause here. As you're ready, release on your exhale, both hands down to the blocks. Back is long, shoulders are pulled back. Pressing through the back heel. Rest your left hand onto the block. Exhale over to a twist. Open up the heart space. Release the right hand long. Inhale, sweep up towards crescent pose. Weighing into that right foot, take the back foot forward. Arms extend long. Press into the feet, palms press together, Samastitihi. As you're ready, inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Exhale, find your crescent pose, right foot back. Find that low lunge. Anchor in, pull in towards center. On your exhale, release both hands back down to the block. Rest that right hand onto the block. Exhale, twist towards the left. On your next exhale, release the left hand down towards the block. Inhale, sweep up, find your crescent pose. Energize through the feet, and we're going to shift that back foot, find our warrior two. Adjusting that back foot, dropping down through the shoulders here. Opening up through the right hip with a slight external rotation, arms are outstretched. Press both feet into the floor as if you're bringing the feet towards center. You're lifting up through the pelvic floor here. Rest your left hand down to your left knee. Extend your side angle. Or maybe rest your left hand on the block, finding an extended side angle with that support of the block. On your next inhale, sweep that right arm up. Bring that left hand forward. Find your warrior two. Shifting into that back foot, finding crescent pose, sweeping both arms up towards the sky. On your next exhale, sweep into that left foot, come back through center, palms pressed together, meet at Samastitihi. Take a moment of pause here. Press into the floor. Inhale, sweep the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, left foot back. Crescent pose. Find that energy through the feet. Find that support underneath you. As you take your next exhale, release the hands down to the block. Set the right hand onto the block. Twist towards the left. Release the left hand down. Inhale, find your warrior, your crescent pose. Settle in, pull in towards center. Continuing to find that Mula Bandha, that pelvic floor root lock here. And as you lift up, you can feel maybe the wrapping of your inner thighs. We can open up through the hip, really focusing at that center here. On your next exhale, shift the back foot, find your warrior two. Virabhadrasana two, open up through the arms, pulling in towards center so you can really root in towards that balanced, centered spot on the body. Relax in, drop the shoulders. Maybe you release the right arm down towards a block as we find our extended side angle here. Reaching with the top arm long, energizing through the feet, continuing to pull towards center. lengthening the side of the body. On your next inhale, sweep that top arm back, front arm forward, find warrior two. Sweep that back foot and curl it so that you come back into warrior, into crescent pose. Rest into that right foot, draw that right foot into a lengthened position, release the left foot towards the top of the mat, exhale, release the hands down to the heart. Resettle in, press the feet into the floor, come back to that supported spot. We're going to add on a little bit. Inhale, sweep the arms up towards the sky. Take the right foot back, finding your crescent pose. Release the hands down to the block. Inhale, sweep towards the right into a twist. Pull up through the belly here. Release the right hand down. Inhale, find your crescent pose, drawing both arms up. Exhale, adjust the back foot, finding crescent warrior two. Now from here, we're going to take that left hand down to the block or to the knee, finding our extended side angle. Energizing through the side of the body, pulling up towards center. Inhale, this time take that top arm all the way up and over. We're going to transition through warrior two and then extend through that front leg. Palms are going to face forward. We're going to shift, finding triangle. Still continue to pull up through the pelvic floor. Now from here, we're going to grab hold of our yoga block and we're going to find our half moon, bending into that left knee, bringing that back foot slightly forward and that block slightly forward. We're going to press in. Maybe you lift the back foot an inch, maybe 2 inches. Gaze maybe down towards the floor, gaze maybe forward as you find your half moon pose here. Maybe you press a hand against the wall. Go ahead and bend into that front knee, set that right foot back, nice and slowly. Curl the back toes under, sweep up, crescent pose. Anchor into that left foot, press back, top of the mat. Bring your hands to your heart. Beautiful. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, take the left foot back, find your crescent pose. Inhale here. Exhale, settle both hands down to the blocks, long back. Beautiful. Inhale, twist towards the left, open up the heart. Just listen to your body, what feels good here. Take that left hand down. Inhale, come back, crescent pose. Exhale, shift back, warrior two. Arms are outstretched, knee is wide. Take a moment of pause here. Settle that right arm down, finding crescent side angle, maybe extending out long. Take a moment of pause here. Coming back into warrior two. Extend that front leg. Relax through the arms, palms open, finding triangle. Beautiful. Take that top arm, reach it forward. Now maybe we just kind of flow here if we want to maybe not do half moon. So just feel free to flow from warrior two into our triangle and gently just kind of find your own rhythm here. Continuing just to focus on bringing that awareness to the soles of the feet. As you're ready, if you're comfortable, we'll go ahead and bring our hand to our right block, maybe a little bit forward of the feet. Bring that back foot forward, lift that back leg up. Woo, as we come into moon, half moon. Maybe our foot is just slightly lifted off the ground. Maybe it's a little higher, maybe it's a little higher. You choose what works best for you. Bend into that front knee, settle that back foot down. Curl the back toes under, lift the arms. Rest into that right foot and let's meet at the top of our mat. Relax the arms. Take a break. I want you to re-ground in through the feet here. And then as you're ready, let's slowly make our way down to the floor. However you get there is completely up to you. So let's go ahead and make our way down to the floor. And we're going to settle ourselves down and we're going to take our bolster or we're going to take our yoga block and we're going to come into a gentle inversion. So slowly come down towards the floor. And just settle your body here for a moment. Maybe even take your knees in towards your chest. Just gently moving the knees in towards your heart. Give your ankles a little twirl. And then as you're ready, go ahead and set your feet down to the floor. And we're going to come into a supported candlestick. So taking our yoga block and setting it right underneath our sacrum at its medium or low height, whatever feels most supported for you. You can also use your bolster, which is a really wonderful tool to use, nice and soft. Settle the hands down towards the floor. Open up the chest. And then if it feels comfortable, maybe extend one leg up. And maybe that's just the right amount for today. Maybe you bring both legs up. Draw the inner thighs towards center. Settling the low back. Know that you are supported. You can maybe even feel the support beneath you. The yoga block, the mat. Relaxing through the ankles, the eyes. And at home, if you are close to a wall, you can even set your feet up against a wall if that feels better and more supported. And then slowly start to bend into the knees. You can rest one foot down and then the other. And gently go ahead and press into the feet, gently engaging through the glutes to lift yourself up. And we're going to grab both of our blocks this time. We're going to make our way into a reclined supported butterfly, but I'm going to give you the option to use your bolster. And if you don't have a bolster, you're welcome to take some pillows and to set the pillows right underneath so that they rest directly onto the spine. And from here, if you'd like, you can set your body down onto the bolster, get yourself comfortable. And then if you'd like, go ahead and set a block under each knee, soles of the feet together as we come into a supported reclined butterfly. Now, if you don't have a yoga block, if you don't have a bolster, you're welcome to go directly to the floor. Find your supported butterfly by letting the blocks rest beneath the knees. Maybe you don't have yoga blocks, but you've got some pillows resting underneath the knees. And perhaps if you'd like, you can even open up the arms, just allowing the chest to expand and to open up. And as you're here, just letting the body weight rest down towards the mat. Let your heart space expand and open. Now, depending on how this feels, maybe you want to stay here a little longer for your Shavasana, or maybe you want to release the blocks and extend the legs and draw the inner thighs towards center. Perhaps you want to allow the hands to come to the side. And you can come off the bolster if you'd like, if you don't want to have it underneath you. Maybe just pull yourself gently up, take your time, and then set that bolster off to the side here. Maybe you set it back underneath the knees, coming into a supported Shavasana today. So whatever recovery or rest pose you want, whatever Shavasana that is most supported to you is what I want you to explore. Maybe you stay where you were, maybe you explore where you want to be. And as we take this moment of rest, notice the body resting down towards the earth. Let yourself connect down to the mat. Quiet your mind space. Before we begin to reawaken our body, I'd like you just to take a moment to repeat to yourself a few times, I am supported. Thinking of this more as supported by the world around you, and that your journey is one that comes with love, care, guidance, and support. Maybe you start to move your fingers and your toes, remembering that if you want to stay here a little longer, that is entirely up to you. And then if you want to, maybe just for today, we roll onto our sides, and if we do have a pillow or a yoga block or a bolster, we'll take that bolster with us and set it right between the knees. Just coming into the space comfortably. And whenever you're ready, slowly take that top arm and press ourselves up. Maybe we come into a supported Sukhasana today. Coming onto our bolster, making ourselves really comfortable here. Good. Let's come together with our hands at heart center in Anjali Mudra. And let's repeat. Let's take 3 breaths. And as we take our breaths in and out, let's repeat to ourselves silently, I am supported. Breathe in, extend the arms. And then breathe out. And then whenever you're ready, meet at your heart center. The gentle bow of our head towards our hands. May your heart always stay warm, and may your smile always stay broad. And may the light that shines in me honor the light that shines in you. Namaste. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I have to say that part of my yogic journey has been with this concept of I am supported, and really embracing the idea of the universe being this ultimate guide. And this release, this opportunity to even just explore that idea that we are supported no matter what we do, has been a really big catalyst of change in my life. So I hope that you too can see how we are all cupped and we are all supported in everything that we do. So from my heart to yours, thank you so, so much for joining me today. And I hope that you always remember that you are supported. Namaste, everyone. Thank you.